Good day and welcome to this series where I'll be showing you on how you can load new files to a database using Talend Open Studio. This setup can also be implemented in SSIS, and it's also pretty simple in SSIS. But for this tutorial, I'll be showing you on how you can load new files to a database using Talend Open Studio. So just think of a scenario where you are in a banking sector or banking setup and you do not have access, maybe you're just a consultant and you don't have access to the real-time database, but what you have access to are daily transactions, that is daily extractions from the IT department. And you want to implement a solution where you're going to be loading only new files to the database, transaction database. And you can do a drop and create, that is every day. You can drop the table and load the previously loaded files and the new files, or you can implement this solution, sort of an incremental load setup. So that is what I'm going to be showing you on how you can go about it. So for the first step, what you need is to have the data, that is the extractions, into a folder. Just call it a source folder or an input folder. So we're going to be iterating the files in that input folder. And for each iteration, we're going to check if the file is already loaded in the database. If the file is already loaded, we reject it. And if the file is not loaded, we accept it. And for that iteration, we load the contents of the file to a database, and this will be happening for each iteration. If you have 5 files, we iterate 5 times and then loading the contents of the files to the database. And as well as for each iteration, we also be saving the file name to the database, so that when we run the job again, maybe tomorrow, we're not going to be loading the files that have been already loaded to the database. And the next step is to just test the job and just rerun the job again. Maybe it's now a different environment, UATs or QATs. Just be testing this job to ensure that it's running as per the documentation. And the last step is just clap hands for ourselves, give ourselves a pat on the back for a good job. So for the framework, what we're going to be doing is to, like I already highlighted, we need a folder for the input data that we're going to be iterating, and we also need a table, a log table, where we're going to be looking up the file names, and they will just be loading only new files, the contents of the new files to our database. And then I will commit the changes for the next step, save the file name to the database for each iteration, and then we commit the changes. So this is just an introductory tutorial on this series of videos that I'm going to be showing you. I'll just be doing it. Just take I don't know, maybe like 3-4 tutorials just to explain it so that everyone can understand it. It's a good solution, and I hope you guys are going to enjoy the lesson in the tutorial. See you soon, guys, and happy detailing.